All right, guys, so I'm here just getting ready for the day tomorrow. I'm gonna make my coffee and stuff, but I was just on a Facebook Live or TikTok Live not too long ago, and a guy was asking me about FOC on his arrows. So let me start by saying I'm not a bow tech. I'm not a professional arrow builder. Yes, I do build stuff for myself. I like to work on my own stuff. But I'm by no means a professional. Do your own research, figure out what works for you. This is all my opinion based, but I want to talk about it and get a discussion going. And if I'm wrong, I want to learn something. So anyway, so let's talk about arrow weight FOC. For those of you that don't know, FOC stands for front of center weight. So let's pretend this butter knife is your arrow. Let's pretend this is the front. The more weight that you put up front is going to increase your FOC. The more weight you put on the back is going to decrease your FOC. Now, everything that plays into FOC is arrow length, GPI of your arrow, wrap weight, wrap length, fletching weight, knock weight, front weight. It all plays into it. There's a formula and there's websites out there to calculate it, but we're not talking about how to do that right now. We're just talking about FOC itself. So let's guy got on there and he said, calculated my FOC of my arrows today. I think I'm a little low. And I said, well, what is it? And he said, it's 10%. And I said, okay, what are you hunting? He said, whitetail. I said, what's furthest you're gonna shoot? He said, 35 yards. I said, send it. I said, I think you're gonna be okay. The biggest thing for me that is gonna put a deer on the ground for you and make you be successful is accuracy. Getting out, getting comfortable with your equipment, and making sure that the arrow is going to go where you want it to when you release that arrow. So, but anyway, is there such a thing as too little FOC? Yes, absolutely. I mean, I wouldn't go out with 1 or 2%. I don't even know if you can get there. So, I mean, there's a lot of different components out there, but I don't know if you can get that low. You know, what am I told is kind of the sweet spot? It's somewhere around, 14, 16, maybe 18. I don't hear of a whole lot of guys running, above 20, but maybe they are. And again, we're talking about whitetail here. We're not talking about elk. We're not talking about moose. We're not talking about Cape buffalo. We're talking about whitetail deer. We're talking about, 40, 50 yards. So anyway, he said 10%. And I'm like, send it, man. I said, in my opinion, there's been so many people out there that have been hunting for so long that have not paid attention to their FOC. They have bought stock arrows off the shelf with fletchings and put a broadhead on it, made sure they can shoot it and it's going to hit where they're aiming, and they're going to go send it. And they're putting deer on the ground. So go for it. Would I like to see it a little bit higher than 10% for myself? Yeah, personally, I'd like to see it 15 to 18 for me personally. I can't even tell you what my arrows are. I'm not great with remembering numbers. I did know what it was, but I can tell you I'm running a 100 grain point with a 60 grain insert on like a 28.5-inch arrow or something like that. I would have to go check to be sure. But anyway, he's getting back to the 10% being too low. I'm like, I think you're fine, dude. Again, to me, accuracy is what is going to make you be successful, being proficient with your equipment. So I don't think 10's going to hurt him. So anyway, let's get a discussion going, guys. If you disagree with me, let's talk about it, and I want to know why, and maybe my opinion will change. But so anyway, and I don't know if I said this, but yeah, I did say it. I'm not a bow tech. I'm just a guy that likes to learn and likes to tinker with his own stuff and try to help people as I can. So, but always do your own research and always be comfortable with stuff before you go out and put it to the test. So anyway, thanks guys, have a good night.